Welcome to the Kobe Bryant Film Room. Today I want to go through some silly ass comments made about Tim Duncan uh, with dudes overhyping and over sensationalizing Duncan's career. Now, as we know, Duncan is the greatest power forward, universally pretty much known as the greatest power forward to ever play the game. No doubt about it. A bad man on that basketball court. No doubt about it. A beast. A great leader, Tim Duncan is, right? But the legend of Tim Duncan has recently took a big, how should I say this? Skyrocketed. It took a big leap over the last 2 years because you have YouTubers pushing this Tim Duncan is a top 5 player thing, right? And so you have fans who are the younger fans who are easily impressionable, taking this information that they're being told and running with it, right? So I want to go through some ridiculous ass comments, but I'm going to also show you guys on this screen right here that you're watching Kobe Bryant busting the Spurs ass. So meanwhile, I get into this. Y'all can enjoy the footage. Comments about Tim Duncan. There's one comment. This guy said, in order to get Duncan, that the Spurs had to be so bad before him to get a high draft pick, right? This shit is what you call a half truth, right? Were the Spurs bad record wise? Absolutely. But they tanked to get Duncan, and David Robinson was injured, right? So they purposely tanked to get Duncan. So it's not in a situation where the Spurs were pretty much in disarray. They were in disarray on purpose, right? Because they knew Tim Duncan was coming out of college, and they wanted him to pair him with David Robinson to make the Twin Towers, right? So that's partially true, right? But these guys don't have the history. So to say that they were that bad, no, they weren't. In the 90s, the Spurs were a good team all the way up till Tim Duncan, pretty much, 2 years before Tim Duncan was drafted, right? Look at the Spurs records with Sean Elliott leading the way, right? Sean Elliott, who was a beast, right? They don't know about that. Why? They weren't there. Ridiculous comment number 2. Tim Duncan is the best defensive big, right? Now, this is opinionated, but what makes this so ridiculous is that you've got other guys with better numbers because these guys go off numbers. So according to their logic, Olajuwon would be better, Wilt would be better, Bill Russell would be better, Dikembe Mutombo would be better. So when they talk about best defensive bigs, that's debatable, right? That's debatable. They didn't record defensive numbers, a lot of the defensive numbers when Bill Russell was playing, right? Somebody said Duncan is top 5. That's opinionated, right? Duncan being top 5 to me, just watching basketball, is a ridiculous statement. I have him probably around 7, but he's not better. To me, he's not better than Michael. This is all opinionated, but he's not better than Michael. He's not better than Kobe. He's not better than Kareem. He's not better than Olajuwon. He's not better than Shaq. Well, you could debate. It depends on what criteria you're going. You could probably debate him and Shaq. To me, he's not better than LeBron. He's not better than the Bird. And he's not better than Magic. And so, yeah, I mean, he's great, but I think, to me, in my opinion, his greatness is being exaggerated. I think top 5 is pushing it. That's for me, but everybody has their opinion, right? So This person said, if you don't have Timmy in your top 5, you're a casual. So I guess Robert Horry is a casual. I guess Jamal Crawford is a casual. I mean, this is ridiculous. So now you have to have Tim Duncan in your top 5. When there were pretty much better players than Tim Duncan offensively and great defenders as well. Two better two-way players in the NBA. This one guy said Tim Duncan easily could have averaged 25 to 28 points per game. Bro, no, he could not. That's why he never did it. Now Tim Duncan, guys, is turning into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Tim Duncan was always a good scorer, right? He'll have games where he drops 28. But to average 28 and to have games where you drop 28 is two different things, right? It's two different situations, right? Those are two different things, y'all. To me, that's a ridiculous statement, saying that he can average 25 to 28 a game. Well, could he? But could he win while doing it? Right? I mean, if you give him the ball the whole game, I guess so. But we're talking about in a winning situation, right? Like, I mean, any player can probably give you 28 a game if they keep getting the ball. But can he win doing it? Can he affect his team in a positive way doing it? Right? And I'm under the impression that if he could, he would. This person said he went to the finals in his rookie year. This is how you know somebody who's never watched Tim Duncan play basketball. When they say he went to the finals in his rookie year, that's an absolutely false statement, right? Absolutely false. And this is a kid, right? This is a kid who's a fan of LeBron James, who just wants to shove Tim Duncan in Kobe's way. Tim Duncan was drafted in 1997-98 season. He won the championship in the lockout year of 98-99. Please, guys, don't repeat this bullshit. Because when you don't do your homework, you sound dumb, right? You don't necessarily sound dumb. Let me take that back. You sound like you dick riding, right? Because now you're boosting him up as if, oh yeah, just dropped Tim Duncan, and right away he won in the second season. But when he did win, Patrick Ewing wasn't even playing. So that finals MVP was almost a given for Duncan at that particular time. Now you got to give him credit for winning, but these guys, they're giving him too much credit for the team success, right? Because that Spurs team was a great team. You had Avery Johnson, Mario Elliott, you had Sean Elliott. You had really good players on that Spurs team. David Robinson was still good, right? Even though he was going on the downhill of his career, he was still good in 98-99. So this person who made this comment does not know basketball and never watched Tim Duncan play. Couldn't have. This person said, I like Duncan because he wasn't flashy. Who gives a fuck, right? If you're the best, you're the best, right? Whether you're flashy or not. This is a shot. This is supposed to be a shot at Kobe Bryant. But Kobe Bryant pretty much got hit all his skills and all his moves, right? Supposedly from Michael Jordan. But these people have Michael Jordan higher. They don't count flashiness till they get to Kobe. Right? This person said, Timmy did it without a max contract. My response to that is, so? Another comment. he is top 2. So Tim Duncan's a top 2 player of all time, and I'm not even going to address that, man, because I think that's yes, his opinion, but it's ridiculous to me, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I could feel like Scottie Pippen's a top 2 player. You know what I mean? Like, people water down Duncan because of his hezzy tween splash culture. Because of this hezzy tween splash culture. I swear, people don't do their homework and rely solely on aesthetics rather than focus on what makes someone dominant. First of all, I guess this is supposed to be a shot at Kobe because Kobe's aesthetically pleasing, right? So they're giving Duncan credit for being boring, right? So this is the thing, right? Duncan was dominant which years? 99, right? 2000, you can't claim, I mean, he was dominant, but you can't claim he was dominating the league. Like, you can't claim he was the best player in the league, right? So his main impact years was 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and 2004, and 2005, right? That's about 7 years? 6 years, right? Where he is extremely dominant, right? From 99 to 2005, 6 years. What about the other what about the other years? Right? What about 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010? What about the other years, y'all? 2000, okay, so 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. That's 5 years. So you literally got 5 years where he's not considered the best player on his team. All this talk about how Kobe wasn't the best player on his team. Right? And, well, let's keep reading, y'all. He was almost 6-0 in the finals. Okay, and what would that mean? If he would have won the championship in 2013, Danny Green would have been considered the MVP. Right? So would you guys dock him for that, or would you guys credit him as if he's Michael Jordan? Right? Because we know Tony Parker wanted the MVP. Since you guys love MVP so much, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, and Danny Green would have been MVP over Tim Duncan. You have 3 different niggas being MVP over Tim Duncan. Me, I don't give a fuck about the MVP. I go off how you play. Did you play well or not? Right? Were you balling or not? But since you guys go off finals MVPs and all that shit, you still couldn't. I don't know what you're trying to do with the 6-0 in the finals thing. Would it have been impressive? Yes. But would it have bumped him? Where would that bump him? If he was not as impactful as he was earlier in his career. Okay, Duncan is the reason Kobe isn't top 10. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. To me, Kobe's top 10. To me. To a lot of people, Kobe's top 2. So, you can have whatever opinion you want, right? You can have whatever opinion you want. You can believe Kobe's not top 10 if you want, because what you're trying to do is you don't want Kobe close to that LeBron spot. You don't want Kobe close to LeBron. That's what it is. So what you try to do is you try to put as many people as you possibly can, because there's no justification for having that LeBron, even if you have him ahead, having him so far ahead of Kobe, that far ahead of Kobe. There's no justification for it. unless you just hate Kobe, right? Somebody said, I'd take Duncan over Olajuwon. Well, sir, you're the only one. You're probably the only person in NBA history that takes Tim Duncan over Olajuwon. Because Olajuwon was better at literally everything. And I mean literally everything. But I mean, it's opinionated. I'll let you have that. One nigga told me and my homeboy remember talking about this too. He said he'd rather have Manu Ginobili over Dwayne Wade. And we said, shit, we'll let you have it, dog. You like Manu so damn much. You know what I'm saying? Give us Dwayne Wade in the draft. You take Manu and let's see who gets fired. But somebody said, I'm literally flabbergasted that people don't know how goated Tim Duncan is. It's the reason Coach Pop is so highly regarded. Coach Pop was always highly regarded. Now, even when he played with, even when he had David Robinson. So I don't know what that meant, right? Now, Duncan plays in Coach Pop's system, right? Now, the first couple of years, they just dumped the ball into Duncan, right? Duncan was an absolute monster. And they used his gifts to run the team, right? But Coach Popovich implemented a system that utilized all of its role players of ball movement around Hall of Famers like Tony Parker, around Hall of Famers like Manu Ginobili. You know what I'm saying? The Spurs were always a team predicated on beating you with numbers, beating you as a group. And I think what you guys are doing is you're taking the group and you're applying it to the individual. You're taking the success of the team and applying it to one guy, which you can do. But when we separate Tim from the group, then we'll have to look at his individual abilities, right? Scoring the ball. Defense, of course, he's always going to be at the top in defense. Passing the ball, right? Even rebounding, right? Has Tim ever led the league in rebounds? Right? So, one comment, I got Timmy top 5. 1 MJ, 2 Bron, 3 Kareem, 4 Magic, 5 Timmy. Notice no Kobe Bryant. You know why? Because this person is most likely a LeBron fan, right? And they usually, on a LeBron fans list, they usually have Kobe at the bottom. They try to separate LeBron from Kobe, and it'll be ridiculous. It'll be like 5 spots that they try to separate LeBron from Kobe, right? But if you watch basketball, you know that not only does Kobe have the numbers, Kobe has the records. Not only does he have the records, not only does he have the championships, he has the game. He has the skill. Offense on defense, you can't name a better player on both ends of the court. The only person you can even put in that stratosphere as far as being the best two-way player of all time is Jordan. It's between Jordan and Kobe, the best two-way players of all time. And basketball is played 2 ways. So how the fuck can you have this nigga outside? I don't get it. But hey, it's opinionated. Again, if Duncan played for the Lakers, if Duncan played for the Lakers, everybody would say he's the GOAT or at least second. And see, this is another idiotic comment, right? Because if Duncan played for the Lakers, he'd be behind Kareem, right? But these people are so fixated on Kobe, right? They're so fixated on destroying the legacy of Kobe Bryant that they're willing to say anything, y'all. It's disgusting, bro. The only reason why, and I said this before, these comments, right? The only reason why they view Duncan as highly as they do is only to discredit Kobe. A lot of these guys didn't watch Duncan as prime. And you know what's crazy? I replied to this guy And he said, man, I can't stand when people ring count. All people want to do is ring count, right? Because when they talk about LeBron versus Jordan, he hates that people ring count. But he said, well, in Kobe's era, Duncan won 5 chips. Sir, that's a goddamn lie. Duncan did not win 5 championships in the 2000s. That's a lie. Duncan won a championship in 99, and Duncan won a championship in 2010. 2014, I'm sorry. So what you said was a lie. He did not win 5 championships in the 2000s. And a lot of them do this, right? They think because Duncan won 5 championships, they try to move his 5 championships to the 2000s, right? Because they're trying to take away from Kobe, right? Kobe won a championship in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2009, 2010, right? And it was really the 09-10 season. It wasn't 10-11, right? So Kobe won 5 championships in the decade. But even if you don't want to count 2010, Kobe won 4 championships to Duncan's 3. So any way you want to shake it, this person said, I could argue Tim is top 3. His only blemish is his finals losses. Brother, you could argue anything. You could argue anything. It doesn't make you a winner of that argument. Duncan was free throws away from being 6-0. Well, Duncan's a 70% free throw shooter for his career, right? Or 69%. So when you say he's free throws away from being 6-0, bro, that's a long way from being a 6-0 if you're only a 70% at the line. It's arguable if his peak is top 5, but for a total career, I have him number 3 behind LeBron and MJ. Wait. This comment is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. Because half of Duncan's career, he was putting up just 16-9. Right? And I'm talking about from 2007 to 2000. Shit. You got a lot of years. Well, 2000, let's say 2009, where Tim really started taking a seat back. And the Spurs started rotating around, moving around Tony Parker. Like these people have not watched Duncan play, because they would know that Duncan was pretty much a shell of themselves. He wasn't the same Duncan as the 2000s as he was in the mid 2000s. He wasn't. In the mid 2000s, he was not the same, y'all, as the early 2000s. They think he was the same the whole time. And the only way you could think that is if you weren't watching. That's why nerds need to stay away from basketball. If Tim Duncan talked shit, everybody would have him top 5. So, to me, this is another knock at Kobe, saying Kobe just talks shit. Kobe backed up the shit he talked, and Mike talked shit too, right? So who you gonna move out the top 5? Are you gonna move Mike out the top 5 because he talks shit? Are you gonna move Larry Bird? Those guys? Tim Duncan ahead of Larry Bird because Larry Bird talks shit? These are ridiculous statements that have nothing to do with the game of basketball. This is just, I don't like his personality, or I like his personality, so I'm going to move him up. Kobe had Shaq when he beat Duncan. And here I say, so Kobe was drafted by the Lakers. Kobe was traded for on draft night by the Lakers. So David Robinson had, Tim Duncan had all-stars on his team too. Which you're comparing another man's team to another man's team. Although Kobe did have Shaq, Kobe had multiple Hall of Famers on his team, and he had a deeper bench than the Lakers. right? He had a deep bench. And Kobe also has a winning record against Duncan. He got the lowest TV ratings, so that drops him. To me, that's an idiotic statement. Because he couldn't bring in TV ratings. Like now we're not talking about basketball. like bro. Like we're not talking about basketball no more, bro. So these are the ridiculous comments about Tim Duncan. It's just dumb shit, yo. Like, can we just talk about basketball? This other guy wanted to debate me on finals MVPs, and Tim has 3, Kobe has 2. Like, bro, Tim's never went back to back. Well, you guys always say he never went back to back. You Kobe fans. Bro, that's a big deal in the history of the basketball to defend your championship. It's the duty and responsibility of a champion to defend your championship. Right? If you can't defend your championship, then that means your championship could have been a fluke. So in order to avoid people saying that your championship could have been a fluke, right? Like when you win, right? You win a championship, you're good. Right? You win back to back, you're great. Right? You win back to back, you're all-time great. You win 3 in a row, you're a dynasty. Right? You're dominant. You're destroying people. There's no competition. Duncan's never went back to back. Yes, that's a hit. And it's only a hit because Tim Duncan's career was magnificent. But it's only a hit when you compare him to guys who've done it. Right? Well, those are team accomplishments. Motherfucker, everything you say about Duncan is a team accomplishment. You guys contradict yourselves. Because you hate Kobe being Bryant. You don't want him to be looked at with any type of respect. I brought up the fact that Tim Duncan lost to Puerto Rico. Oh man, that don't matter. That's the Olympics. Bro, when you're talking about a dude's a better leader and he can lead garbage to a championship title and all this shit, he can take anything from scratch and just work with it. Then I said, well, what happened when he had all those all-stars around him? And then when we were the favorites to win. Oh, well, no, man, you got to understand, bro. Like, bro, I know that Kobe has a gold medal because he came back and led Team USA. That all goes into it, bro, when we're evaluating these players. Leadership. I know you guys don't see Kobe as a great leader, but the league does, the world does. Kobe was a great leader. He motivated his guys. Listen to his teammates talk about him. Right? Coach Popovich was one of the leaders of the Spurs. Right? So Coach Pop. So I'm going to leave it there. Tim Duncan is one of the greatest players of all time. Could you argue he's top 5? Yeah, of course. Anybody in the top 10, you can argue they're top 5. They have an argument. I don't believe he is because there's better players than him, in my opinion, on both sides of the ball. But hey, I mean, he has a fantastic career. This video is not to knock Duncan. This video is to knock the lies about Duncan as being this just dominant force all throughout the decade of the 2000s, and he wasn't. That Spurs team was a good team. Right? Even when Tim Duncan was going down, right? Even when Tim Duncan was declining, or he had when he had bad finals games, right? Multiple bad finals games, he was still allowed to play without scrutiny because his teammates lifted the burden from him. Right? He's never played without a Hall of Famer. So Kobe goes losing Shaq to a young team to not making the playoffs, and he missed a month of basketball in 2004. Right? They blame him for not making the playoffs. But Tim's never been in that situation where he had to lift a bad team. Those teams he had were not bad teams. Just because you don't know the players who played on those teams doesn't mean they're bad teams. Avery Johnson was not a bad point guard. He was a good point guard. Go back and watch Avery Johnson. And so this is when things go to another level with the dick riding. With the attempt to discredit one man, it's endless. I sat back for years and I didn't say anything. Now I'm here and I'm addressing all that shit. I want all the smoke. Because it's gotten to the place where it's gone too far, in my opinion. And the disrespect, the media not covering things, the dirt put on his name, the rumors he ran off Shaq, the rumors that he didn't take a pay cut when he could have brought in a max player. He's selfish. None of the things that his teammates call him, right? Being called to him by other people. Just like Russell Westbrook, right? Westbrook was called selfish. None of his, and a bad teammate. None of his teammates said he's a bad teammate. They say he's the greatest teammate. But that's the media for you, right? That's the media for you. They tell one side of the story. Same with Kyrie Irving. They said people hate Kyrie Irving. The players love Kyrie Irving, right? But this is what they do. They can't beat them on the court, so they try to beat them on paper with these numbers, right? But on the court, like Dwayne Wade said, I'm gonna keep saying this. Dwayne Wade said him and LeBron teamed up to take down Kobe. And let me say this. LeBron came in the league 2003. By 2007, LeBron James was in strong consideration as the best player in the league. It was between LeBron James and Kobe Bryant for years. Not LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Tim Duncan. It was LeBron versus Kobe. They made the puppets. No Tim Duncan puppet, y'all. Right? Stephen A. Smith kept saying, and all other shows kept saying Kobe was the best player in the world, the greatest closer. They were comparing Kobe to Jordan. Right? I showed you guys a video a couple of days ago with Sonny Hill, the great Sonny Hill, saying Kobe is not going against the modern players of his era. He's going against all-time greats. Wilt, Jordan, Jabbar. Right? So, these people are pulling shit out of their ass. They're liars. They're hypocrites. They're weed smokers because they got to be high, because no one was saying this back then. Nobody was saying Tim Duncan was better than Kobe in 2005, 2006, in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010. You can argue a couple of years. In the early 2000s. But throughout the decade of the 2000s, that was Kobe's decade. Hence why in 2K it's called the Kobe era, not the Duncan era. And y'all just gonna have to get over it, right? Because that's the way it was. That's history in its proper perspective. And I'm glad 2K did that to recognize Bean for the force that he actually was. And the reason why Michael was passing the torch to Kobe in 2003. Go watch. We're gonna watch the 2003 All-Star Game too, where Mike passed the torch. Right? We're gonna go through this. That's why I'm here, to put his career, not to over-exaggerate his career, But to put his career in its proper perspective, now I'm going to mix my opinion with it. My opinion is he's the greatest to ever do it. It's between him and Michael. And if you argue Michael Jordan, I have no problems with that. Michael Jordan's arguably universally known as the greatest player to ever play the game. If you argue Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I have no issue. Wilt Chamberlain, no issue. But under my criteria, I have Kobe Bean Bryant as the best ever. Right? And we each are entitled to our opinions, but slander will not be tolerated. Lies will not be tolerated. Cap will not be tolerated. And I deal with cap. So we're going to lay this one down. Put this one to bed, y'all. Kobe Bean Bryant, to me, was just better. And I think the facts bear that out. See y'all next time.